Okay, this is going to be the first of a two-part video. Unfortunately, I can't do the graphing calculator piece and do the rest of this problem. But what I'm going to be doing is I'm going over this question right here. It says, using a graphing calculator to graph the function, f of x is equal to negative x cubed plus 6x squared minus 9x minus 6 in the viewing rectangle, and find the intervals on which the functions are increasing and decreasing, and find any relative maximums and minimums. So we got a lot of pieces to this problem. The first key is going to be to getting it in the calculator and adjusting to this viewing window. Then we're going to find the maxes and mins. So the first step is we need to go ahead and put this in the calculator. Once I get this picture drawn and we get the maxes and mins figure out, this video is going to end, and then you'll need to click on another YouTube link where I take the picture of that function and we'll really break down the increasing or decreasing in maxes and mins. So let's go ahead and turn our calculator on and go to y equals. Let's clear out anything that's in there, and we're going to put this function in here, negative x cubed, and then we have plus 6x squared minus 9x minus 6. Minus 9x minus 6. And we need to change the window. Negative 3, 7, negative 20, 15. Remember, the negative 3 is the value of the x minimum. So I'm going to clear out and we're going to make the x minimum negative 3. We're going to make the x maximum 7. So let's change the x maximum to 7. The y minimum is going to be 20. Negative 20, sorry. So we're going to change the y minimum to negative 20. And the y maximum, it says it is 15. So we're going to arrow down to the y max and 15. Be careful, I see a lot of people put these values of y min and y max in here for x scale and y min. Make sure you're putting these in the correct place. Then I'm going to go ahead and hit graph. And after I hit graph, I see this picture right here. And you can see I have a relative minimum down here, and I have a relative maximum up here. So the first step of what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and find out what this minimum is. So I hit second trace. We're looking for a minimum, so I go down here to number 3. Left bound, I want to pick an x value to the left of this minimum. That's going to go ahead and be, I'm going to pick the 0. So you can see it puts that arrow up here, so I'm on the left side. Now we need an x on the right hand side, so I think 1, 2, 2 would be good. So I'm going to enter in 2, enter one more time, and we can see that minimum is, okay, so 0.999999972. We're going to assume that that is the x value of 1, okay? When you have that many, the calculator does have some errors, so we know that the minimum is going to be 1, negative 10. So I'm going to jot that down just to remember. Minimum, or that lowest value, is going to be 1 comma negative 10. Again, I'll address this further as far as maxes and mins in the next video. Now this over here is a maximum right here, so we want to make sure we find the maximum. Second trace, we're going to go to maximum, and x to the left of that maximum would be, like you can see, we can count 1, 2. 2 would be to the left of the maximum. Now to the right of the maximum, here's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 would work, or 5. I'm going to go ahead and pick 5 just to be safe. And you can see, do you see up here that we have these 2 arrows, and it's like going to hone down right on this maximum. So when I hit enter one more time, we see that it gives me, again, 3.00000014 is going to be 3, and y is going to be negative 6. So the maximum is going to be 3, negative 6. Okay, and I just want to clarify, I see I just wrote minimum, maximum. Those are relative. Just make sure that's not the absolute, that's not the highest point in the graph. They're just one of those turning points. So those are the relative maximums and minimums. Now in the next video, I'm going to kind of lay out this function and talk a little bit more about how to find increasing or decreasing, and we'll figure out how to write the proper way to find these relative maximums and minimums.